Hart here with your Sunday Ask Susan live Q&A, the place to be every Sunday to ask the questions that are popping for you. We've been talking about creating, we've been talking about creations, and what's popped for me this week was a blog I saw by Seth Godin, and he was talking about bottlenecks. So before we continue anymore, we'll just wait for the algorithms to click in to tell people that we are live every Sunday, playing with you from Vermont. I've been creating. This has been a week of lots of creations. Hey, Rosanna. Of lots of hey, Erica. Of lots of shifts and changes. You know, we've been talking about creating with your life, creating with your future. And a lot of people have been talking about Mercury in retrograde, or, you know, the planet is shifting its poles, or we're off our axis, or whatever that is for you. So my question for you is, are you willing to be present with what's working for you and what's not working for you? Good morning from West Michigan. Thank you. Hey, yeah, come on in. Let us know where you're from. If you have a friend or know of somebody in the Ask Susan community that needs to be on this, that's been talking about their creations and what's not working and how they're a little bit messed up this month. Hi. Tag them. Tell them to get on in here. So we have a lot of new members as well. For those of you who are new, every Sunday on Ask Susan, we come up with a conversation based on what you're asking about. So I love it when you write your comments in any time of the week, and I love you when you comment on the Sunday ones. And if you're watching this on replay, put hashtag replay so I know where you're coming from. And come on in with your questions. We're going to be talking about bottlenecks. Right? I read this article by Seth Godin. He does great blogs, and they're quick, and I love them. They always give me a pop. Hey, Erica. Stephanie Locke, Heidi. Thank you. You're popping people on. Hey, Dee. Good morning from Kitchener. Hey, Maureen. Welcome, welcome. So, bottlenecks. That was this article, quick blog by Seth Godin, and it really had me questioning that everywhere that I'm bottlenecking my own life. Now, what's a bottleneck? So here, you know, a bottle comes in like this. See if I have one. Well, so here's one of my favorite bottles, tequila. So you see where there's a bottleneck? It's where you pour things out. Well, if the bottleneck is full, if you stuff something down the bottleneck, you can't actually pour out anything. So what happens is you get condensation. So you see the condensation here, you get stuck, you don't get more, right? And the awareness for me was like, oh my gosh, how much have I been bottlenecking my life, my business, my body, my career, whatever that is for you as well. Hey, Sandy, welcome. You know, everywhere you've actually put the cork in your creations, you create that condensation. What happens when there's a lot of condensation, when there's a lot of shift and change in the chemical makeup? Something pops, right? So, you know, everywhere you kind of exploded all over yourself with shame, with regret, with blame. Hey, Barrett, everywhere you've decided what you're doing isn't working and you just kind of explode. You might ask yourself, is there anywhere you've kind of bottlenecked yourself? Bottlenecking could be somebody's creating something for you. You've asked them to do it and they give it to you and you put it aside. You say, oh, I'll look at that later. When if you actually were present with what you're asking for, you could ask some questions like, so is this the energy that is fun for me to play with? Is now the time for this creation? What else is possible here? What's required? What's the next step with this? Oh, Barrett, I get a star. Thank you. Does this work for me? Right? So often I'll be creating something and I'll hand it off to somebody to kind of put the little their special stardust in it, and or it could be technical, not good technical. And then they get it to a point where I look at it and I'm not there anymore, right? So are you bottlenecking yourself by trying to be who you were when you asked for something to be created? You know, how many of us bottleneck ourselves in a relationship? Hey, Stacy, welcome. How many of us bottleneck ourselves in a relationship? We ask to sit down and talk with somebody or have a discussion with somebody, and we're not actually willing to be vulnerable. If you're not willing to be vulnerable with who you be, what you be, and how you be, and what you're asking for, right? You create a bottleneck. What's another example of a bottleneck? Well, you know, in the highway, when all of a sudden all the traffic stops, and it's because maybe it's gone from 5 lanes to 2, or if you're trying to get over a bridge and they're working on the bridge and they're directing everybody to a side Yeah, I get hearts on that. Well, that's what you do with everything you're creating, whether it's your body, your money flows, your relationships. You actually create that detour, right? Instead of asking, okay, how can I open up the flows of communication here? How can I open up the flows of receiving here? You know, am I truly receiving what I want to be creating? Am I talking really quickly? Can you tell I'm just a little bit jazzed about this? It was a huge awareness for me. Number one, I looked at this blog again by Seth Godin on bottlenecks, and I was like, wow, how many times have I been doing that? And then, with no judgment, with no regret, with no blame, with no shame, asking myself, oh, is this what I'm actually asking to create, right? Is there anywhere that I'm buying that if I choose this, it won't create something greater? Because that's already going into conclusion, right? Yeah. Is there anywhere if I sit down and have a discussion, this is what they will say? That's where you're going into conclusions and judgments. That doesn't open up the bottleneck. That just actually sticks it together. So, as this is not a monologue or dialogue, it's a conversation. Come on in with your questions. Is this something that's popping for you? Right? Oh, good. Thank you. Hey, Aradna. Welcome, welcome. Yay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Because it was huge for me. Because I've been painting this week, and I've been working on my book, Fearless Every Day. And I've been working with a new VA, brilliant. And she gave me some stuff to do. And I all of a sudden hit a wall. And then I realized, wow, what if that's actually not required for what I'm creating? Feels a little lighter, doesn't it? Yeah. So if you're given something that you've been asking for, and it just doesn't feel light, if it's light, it's right? You've got that yummy, juicy feeling, right? If it's something you're stopping yourself from doing, because you actually have to stop yourself, right? You are a creator. You're an Uber creator, right? So what is it that you're stopping yourself from achieving, from being? By buying that it's easier to bottleneck something. It's just easier to put it away. Margaret, how did you start letting go of the stuff in the bottleneck? Right. Well, it was the awareness. Thank you, Margaret. I love that question. Hey, Bruna. Hey, Susan. I love that question because if it's not moving, you bottlenecked it, right? You built a dam. You've seen beavers. There's a beautiful body of water, and all of a sudden they start to build a house and they start to block it off, and they're creating something different, right? They bottleneck the water so it overflows for them to build what they want. It doesn't actually create more for what you're asking to create. So like everywhere you are building a nice, comfortable little house by stopping your creations, and you're building it so it's supporting you and you're okay, I'm cool, this is what I can do, I can't do anything more than that. That's the bottleneck, right? I built myself a nice home that's comfortable and it's not going to go any farther than this, right? So everywhere you've decided it's your job to support everybody. Ooh, that's popping for somebody. Yeah, it's your job to build the home, to support everybody else and create that environment. It actually is stopping you from your creations. Hey, Shandana, welcome, welcome. So is this popping for people? Margaret, tell me if that gives you the more information you're asking for. Yeah, thanks. Lots of hearts and thumbs up. Because it's so huge. We have a capacity we're Uber creators, right? And it's when we decide we have to put something aside to create something for someone else, we're creating a bottleneck in our own creativity. I mean, I've been married for over 40 years, have 4 amazing children that chose me as their mom, little grand beings. And I can be present with the energy of everything that's required without having to put myself on hold. My target right now is my priority and my target is to get Fearless Every Day out there. I see the possibilities of creating and working around the world with this book. It is so much a part of me that is asking to be brought out. So I would be bottlenecking my creativity, my sense of self, where I'm asking to go if I said I can't, right? Because you know how we talked last week about instead of can't, ask what can I create here? How can I uncreate? Oh, Shandana says, love it. I've got lots of hearts from Jamie. Thank you. What else is truly possible here? Right? So the question I would ask, if you see things stopping, because you are the creator of your universe, right? Margaret, fearless every day. Absolutely. If you're the creator of and you are, there's no if there, you are the oh, I'm talking so quickly. Woo! You're the creator of your life, your living, your body, your relationships. That no one can actually stop you but you. The awareness is, oh, am I stopping this? Am I creating what I'm asking to create? It's a yes or a no. If there's a no, ask yourself, is there anywhere that you've bottlenecked your life, you're living? Is there anywhere you refused to lower your barriers and be totally vulnerable and ask, okay, what else is possible here? What is this asking to be? Whether it's your business, your life, your money flows, what is it asking to be? And are you willing to listen? By listening and being totally present, truly what else is possible? That's how you uncork the bottleneck. Yay, I got some hearts and thumbs up for that. So what other questions are, thank you so much, Margaret. Thank you so much. What other questions are popping for people? As I say, it was a huge awareness for me to read this blog and go, yes, that's me. And then to expand out and say, okay, what part of this actually is resonating to how I create and what I would like to create? Because you get everything you ask for, right? So if you ask to be stopped, you'll be stopped. Your universe is listening. It's like, okay, got it. If you ask, so who's out there that could contribute to my book, to my life, to my living? I wonder what that could look like. Are you willing to receive information? Could be just oh, okay. Like the other day, I realized that I had been in a conversation with somebody and they actually energetically took everything that I was being and talking with. And for about 2 hours, I was aware there was a funny energy. And then I reached out, called a friend, said, can I check in with you? And phew, all gone, right? So everywhere you hold on to an awareness that you actually could phone a friend, reach out, ask a question. You're creating a bottleneck, right? Is this making sense to people? Let me see some hearts and thumbs up. What's popping for you? Yeah, it's the willingness to be vulnerable. Oh, good. Got lots of hearts and thumbs up. Yay. It's the willingness to be vulnerable and be in the question, right? And really lower your barriers. Are you gifting yourself an environment that creates more? Because if you're not, it could be that's where you're bottlenecking yourself up. If you're living your reality, your life, if you're creating your body, your money flows for somebody else's point of view, if you're stopping yourself anywhere to match being validated, that's the bottleneck. Kind of cool, huh? Yeah, that's where you're actually stopped yourself from creating. And that's a shame because the world needs more of you, not less of you, right? Yeah. I got some hearts and thumbs up on that. So pop in with your questions. Again, if you're listening to this later, #replay. And if you have questions after, come on in to the Ask Susan Facebook. I check it out every day to see what's popping for people. And I'm so grateful for all of you. Margaret, is it possible that a relationship can actually create the bottleneck? Yes. It's not the relationship. I love this question. Thank you. It's not the relationship that creates the bottleneck. It's your point of view about the relationship. Okay? So if you have a point of view that somebody's keeping you back, if you have a point of view that there's something that doesn't work in the relationship, you're not being willing to ask a question is the bottleneck, right? There are people who are with abusive children, who are with abusive partners. If you're not actually willing to ask, okay, does this work for me? What part about this works for me? What am I willing to let go of? You see, a question uncorks the bottleneck. Margaret, let me know if you know what else you require here. And it's really, I love that you asked that question, Margaret, because it's really important to be totally present in everything you're creating. And a relationship is an ongoing creation. It's something that never stops. We're in relationship with everyone and everything. And we've talked a lot about being willing to love yourself. Hey, Karen, welcome. Being willing to love yourself. Are you willing to love yourself enough, right, to actually love yourself? And that's being present. Loving yourself is a willingness to lower your barriers and being totally available to you. Yeah. And then ask the question from that point of view. Margaret, wow, thank you totally. That hits home with that. Thank you, Margaret. Oh, so I'm so grateful when you ask a question because it's, there are no singular questions. Every question is something that's popping in somebody else's head as well. How many of us are in relationships are just like, oh, what else is possible here? And then we stop there without asking, okay, where am I in all of this, right? Because we create We create everything. We create the staying in the abusive relationship as much as we create the leaving. And it's choice. What would create the greatest amount of possibilities? Yeah. D, is the choice to not know where to go from, oh, sorry, I'm going to open this up. Is the choice to not know where to go from here part of a bottleneck? Yes. Or might that just be waiting for the next orgasmic choice? Yes. Okay. It's your point of view about the choice. So G asks, if the choice to not know where, is that creating bottleneck? Yes, if you're waiting for an answer. Right? So, I've been talking about this book for about 3 or 4 years. I called it, fearless leadership. I called it this, I called it that. And finally I said to myself, all right, I, totally vulnerable, do not want to hear myself talk about that I'm writing a book a year from now. I always talk, please go out 6 months from now. Where do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? What does that look like? 6 months from now, man, that book is in my hand and I'm speaking, right? Hey, Melanie. Hey, Margaret. So D, I don't have to know, right? I'm willing to know, right? So what does that look like? I don't know. Maybe I'll be talking to the woods with my book in my hand. I don't know. But I know the sense of what actually getting this book out in the world is going to create for me. Creating that ripple, creating for me, creates the ripple for the world, right? No matter what it looks like, no matter what it takes. So when you ask that question, is the choice to not know where to go part of bottleneck? Yes, if you're deciding that it's significant that you know where you go, right? Rather than playing with the energies of, so I wonder what this will create. Up goes the bottleneck. I wonder who's out there that could actually assist me in the editing. Found an amazing editor, right? We're just moving and grooving, right? I wonder what this will create. That's what I did before I hired the editor. I went out a month from now. I'm like, okay, working with this editor, will that create more or less for my book, my life, my living, my body? I got more. Okay, done. That's all I need to know, right? Yeah. D says, I'm willing to know. Love it. Yeah. Hey, Manjit. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I love those questions. Thank you. Thank you. Is this ringing for people? Let's see some likes and hearts. It really opened up so much for me. First of all, reading about the bottleneck. Second of all, acknowledging everywhere that I've been the bottleneck and what I've been asking to create. And third, asking, is that really, is that, am I creating from the past? Am I creating from what I decided this should be? Or am I actually willing to uncork the bottleneck, invite in the energies to play, and take one step forward? I'm a big proponent of just take one step forward, uncork the bottleneck. I wonder what that could create. Have that conversation, move your body. Yeah, I've been in Vermont this week, and every morning I just go out and with my coffee, and I generally don't drink coffee. This week my body's like, can we have coffee? I'm like, sure. And I just sit out with the sun and Shiloh, my wonder dog, and watch the snow melt or listen to the birds, watch the nests that were left from last summer, wondering which bird is going to come to this nest this year, being present with the growth, with the wonderment of you. Are you willing to be present with you in the morning when you wake up? Or do you pick up that cell phone, go read those Facebooks, bam, 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 right? It's a challenge, right? Here's a challenge. Uncork that bottleneck as soon as you wake up in the morning. Take a big breath, exhale. Find a place for you, whether it's walking or just being with you, right? And just listen to your breath. And then allow those people who are asking you to contribute to, who have contributed to you, allow those energies, those juicy, joyous energies to just be part of every cell in your body, right? And then ask, I wonder what it is that I'm being asked to create with today. Follow the energy, right? Uncork the bottleneck. D, love the light bulb moments. Thanks on these Sunday seasons. Thank you. Hey, Margaret. Yay. Cool. Welcome, Anna Maria. So, a question. Woo! How can I not, this is from, sorry, the light is funny, Neha. How can I deal with fear of past failures that come in the way of initiating? Okay, well, how can I deal with fear of past failures? Thank you. So for all of you who are buying into that fear is real, right? Fear is actually a chemical that was created for you jump out of a burning building, to run away from dinosaurs, to you know, save yourself, right? From earthquakes. It wasn't created so you could buy into anything as being real, like a failure, right? But we don't, for the most part, most of us are not living in war-torn areas. We don't actually have to buy into that fear is real, right? So I might ask you, you know, how can I deal with the fear of past failures? I might ask you, what have you already judged? What have you already decided is real about your past? I forgot to shut the phone off. Can you hear it? What if, we'll just, you know, uncreate and destroy that. What have you already bought into as real and true? The thing is, that's the bottleneck. I'm so grateful for your question, Neha. Thank you so much. That's the bottleneck, right? The bottleneck is believing that something is real, right? The bottleneck is believing that you actually failed. You, my darling, are the sum of everything that you have been, done, tasted, fucked, danced with, or grown to right now in this present moment, right? So everywhere you're calling any of that a failure, I might ask, who does that belong to? Is that really your voice, right? Oh, I got lots of hearts on that. Yeah, thank you, right? Initiating comes from, I wonder. Initiation comes from wonderment. It's like, I wonder what could change this. What step can I take today? Who can I call? What presence can I be today to actually change this right away, right? Fear, the acronym for fear is forget everything and run, or face everything and rise, right? So I'm going to challenge you today to start rising. Yeah, because that's the bottleneck. When we buy anything as real and true, we believe it, we make it concrete, and there's nothing beyond that, right? So you could ask also, who am I buying this fear for? Who am I buying this fear of failure for? And would you be willing to give that up? Okay, thank you. Now tell me what's popping for you. Sandy. Oh, good, Neha. Thank you, Susan Lazar. Hart is so helpful. Thank you. Love you. I love you too. Thank you for asking that question. The vulnerability that you had. I love that. Sandy, can you talk about competition? I want to know what other businesses are doing. Yet I still get. I love that. I asked the question, what would it take to outcreate them? Okay. I'm going to just repeat this. Can you talk about competition? Okay, here's the dealio, babe. The only person you can actually compete with is yourself. How do I know that? Because I'm creating my own reality. This is my sandbox that I'm playing in. In my sandbox, I'm inviting all of you to come play every Sunday, right? And you're showing up. You're playing in my sandbox, right? The way I see the world is through my lens, right? So if I want to outcreate me, I'm going to say, ooh, so what would it take to get this book done, you know, faster than I ever thought? What else is possible, right? I created a painting this week. I haven't painted in years. My body's like, can we paint? I'm like, sure. My being is like, can we paint? Absolutely. And being present, painting, there was no question. There was no doubt. There was no blame. There was no shame. There was none of those distractions. It was just paint, right? And I would step back and paint. And every time I went into, I used to be in the galleries. Erase. Not me, not my voice, right? So it's really, the only person you can outcreate is you. And I hear that all the time. How can I outcreate them? Fuck it. Let them go. What do you want with your life? What, Sandy, what if what you're creating, and for everybody listening, is so different than anybody else that it doesn't even compete, right? There is no, a competition is something that was created to slow you down, right? I remember talking to a mentor once, and I said something about one of the facilitators, and I said, am I as smart as she is? And he says, no, you couldn't possibly be. Right? It's like we do that to ourselves. We distract ourselves. It's the distractor game. That's the bottleneck. Yay! Thank you, Sandy. Everywhere you're distracting yourself by looking at what somebody else is doing, you are bottlenecking you and your life and your career. There's a total difference between looking at what other people are doing and go, oh, I'll have that. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, yeah. Oh, I just heard somebody say something. Yeah. And then be present with it and ask, does it actually create what you're asking to create? Right? Don't bother out creating anybody else. Let them, bye-bye. Do you think Steve Jobs, his whole thing was, do you think he stopped to see who else was creating computers? No, he was just like, oh, cool idea. I'm in there. I'm going to have this and this and this and this. You know, he left university and he ended up taking night classes in choreography, in, what's it called when you're writing? It's when you write, you know, you write different ways of writing, scriptures and all kinds of stuff. And that's where he created the fonts for the Apple. That's where Apple became so popular, because it was the first computer to have like thousands of fonts, because he studied that just for fun, right? It's like, it's the joy. It's more the joy of you out creating you. It's like, yeah, I'm the kind of girl that painted a painting and worked on my book and I'm talking to you. And what else can I create? Would you be willing to do a happy dance? Yeah. Sandy, let me know if that pops for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great questions. Yay. Hey, Rocio. Sandy says, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, heart, heart, heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Hey, Beatrice, welcome, welcome. Rosanna I get a heart for that. Is this clicking for people? Do you see how it's really what you buy is real and true? That's the bottleneck in you. Yes. Please dancing, Sandy says. Susan says, calligraphy. Thank you, Susan. Thanks, Susan. That's right. It was calligraphy. And you see, like, he just followed the energy of like, oh, calligraphy. That's so cool. I'm just going to hang out and take this class. Did he say, oh, I'm hanging out and taking this class for calligraphy because I want to outcreate my competitors, because I want to create font, because they don't... It's like, boop, 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 boop. Right? No. It's like, uncork the bottleneck. What is tugging at you with wonderment? How could you use that today? I wonder. D, amazing how... let's just open this up. Amazing how many times I've heard it. I'll have that. Yeah. Instead of going with competition, and just now when you said that, oh, thank you so much. I had the most significance to it. Gotta love timing. Yes, and when you hear it, when you hear it, when you hear it. Kimberly, what magic can I be today? You don't want to uncreate you. Oh, cool. Kimberly, I'm so glad. Oh, there's so many pop. Yeah. Hi, Lola. Hi, Marta. Okay, so that's something I hear today, too. Stop the madness. You know what? You are the sum of everything. From the moment you came into this planet in this lifetime and all the thousands of other lifetimes, when you chose this body, and everything you've been and done has brought you to the brilliance of you right now. Why would you want to uncreate that? Stop it. There's so many people you know what? There's so many clients that come to me wanting to uncreate themselves. Thank you, body. Yummy body. Thank you, brilliance. Oh, I'm so grateful for everything that I've been and done that brought me here to you today. Oh, I get smiles on that one. Right? Start practicing gratitude. Really? I'm so grateful for everything I've done. You know, I'm 66 and there's certain parts of where I just all of a sudden I get these resonance of things that I've been or done or played with, and I'm like, oh, cool. Right? I wonder what the next 10 years will be like. Right? I wonder what else I'll be adding to the mixture. Stop trying to... Morning, Lola. Stop trying to uncreate yourselves. Kimberly, let me know how this rings for you. And for everybody, do you get this? Is this making sense? You know, stop trying to, uncreate your past and blah, 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 blah. You got the whole fucking future in front of you. I'm a little excited. Pardon my swearing. Right? You've got it all in front of you. Go for it. Right? Uncork it. And just explode in wonderment. I wonder what that could create. Yeah. Kimberly, create yourself. It's not about creating you. It's about acknowledging you, right? You create you all the time. You have all these cells in your body, whether you have water, you have coffee, or you have alcohol, or whatever it is, it's all going to shift and change the inside of your body. If you dance, if you sing, if you go for a walk, if you hide yourself in a cupboard, it's all shifting and changing all the time. Nothing stops. Nothing stops. Lola goes, yeah, right? So it's not about creating yourself. You are a creation in action. Like, look in the mirror every day and say, I'm a creation in action. I wonder what today will be. I'm a creation in action. I am a creation in action. I wonder what today will be. Sandy says, I love when you get excited. I know, can you tell? I am so excited about this. D, great clarity, Susan. Thank you, Kimberly, for the question. Absolutely. I love that. Yes, thank you, Susan. Absolutely. And that's for everybody, And if you want to dig deeper, go to private sessions on susanlazarhart.com. We'll arrange for that time with you in which we can actually dig a little deeper and see what else is possible. What is it that you're asking for, right? Yeah. I'm so grateful for all of you. The questions that you brought today were absolutely really so vulnerable, and I'm really so grateful that we are here together with each other in this vulnerable space. Erica, do you want to destroy and uncreate every day? If that works for you, right? If that works for you, go for it, right? What I'm talking about is when people use the words as a way to stop themselves. So destroy and uncreate everything that I am today, destroy and uncreate. That's about uncreating and destroying all the judgments that you have of you, right? But if people use the words as if that will create the action, it doesn't actually create anything. You've got to be willing to be the energy of the words that you're using. Yeah. I'm a creation in action. Yay, hear me roar. Absolutely. Hey, Gulshan, welcome, sweetie. Yep. Lola says, I love that. I'm a creation in action. Erica, let me know how that rings for you. Yeah, it's not what you want to do or what you don't want to do. Are the words that you're using creating the energy that you're asking for? It's really that simple. You know, some people say their prayers to God at night. You know, that works for them. Some people get up in the morning and cross-legged and meditate. That works for them. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Are you being the energy of what you're asking, and does that work for you, right? Are you willing to let go of everything you were yesterday? Because you can say, I'm going to uncreate and destroy and whatever that is. You actually have to be willing to let go, right? Let it go, let it flow. Whatever works for you, you know, whatever you say, are you willing to actually be that? Are you willing to uncreate and destroy and let go of what you've been holding on to, right? You've got to be willing to be that energy. Yeah. Let me know if this makes sense, Erica, right? We got a lot here. Neha, thank you so much for offering that gift. Yes, perfect, Erica says. Yay, thank you. Yeah, cool. Erica, being the energy of what you're asking. Yes, brilliant. Yeah. Being willing to let it go. Absolutely. Because, you know, it's like, let's put it in a different way. Do you have a closet of clothes that don't fit you, right? Hey, Ritu. Do you have a closet of clothes that don't fit you? Do you have a house that doesn't work for you? Are you in a relationship that actually doesn't create anything greater for you? Are you in a relationship with yourself that doesn't create anything greater for you? No, you can't look at those clothes and say, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be a size 2? Like, do you get that? It's synchronicity of who you be, what you be, and how you be, and in being the question. Thanks, Gulshan. Right? It's about being present with what it is that you're asking to create, not what's in your cupboard that doesn't fit, not what's in your relationship that doesn't work. You know, what I can say is, are you willing to acknowledge and be grateful for you? You could start. I was talking with a client and I was saying, why don't you try saying, I'm the kind of girl that, or I'm the kind of guy that, right? I'm the kind of girl that got out of bed and peed in the toilet today. All right, I'll have that. Now what else is possible, right? I'm the kind of girl that sits outside and talks to the nests of a bird from last spring. Oh, well, I wonder what else is possible. What is this conversation creating? The more you're willing to be present with you, the more you're willing to be vulnerable, that's the uncorking of the bottleneck, right? And I wonder what this will create. You know, are you willing to be part of something so much greater than the sum of what you decided you're afraid of? I wonder. Yeah. And what could that look like? So, thank you all so much. This has gone on a little bit longer than our normal one. I hope it's been working for you. For those of you who just popped on, we've had a lot of fabulous questions, lots of vulnerability today. So grateful for all of you. Yeah. Hey, if you know somebody who would like to be part of the Ask Susan community, tell them to get on in here. Ask Susan with Susan Lazar Hart on Facebook. Again, for those of you who want to dive deeper, contact me, private sessions, susanlazarhart.com, and let's see what we can create together. Because you know what they say, where two or more are gathered. Thank you, Erica. Same to you. Thank you so much. I adore you all. And hi, Marta. And thanks for keeping up with my boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I just had so many awarenesses popping today. I had to share them with you. So thank you for being here and being as vulnerable and as brilliant as you are. Sonia, thank you. And have a happy Sunday. Thank you, too. Thank you, Kimberly. I love you all. Come on in during the week with your questions. I always pop in and see what else is possible. Live boldly. Live boldly. Boldly in wonderment. Ha! I wonder what this can create. Be that bold person that you truly be, that got you here to where you are now. Oh, I love the hearts. Live boldly, love greatly. That means love you. Love you. Love you. Right? Love you. Love you. Love you. And be that fearless leader that you came here to be. Hey, Susan, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you next Sunday, the place to be for all the changes that you're asking on Ask Susan Sunday Live.